Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 Lexus IS350 F Sport. Huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this sedan for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This model is finished off in ultra white. It has an MSRP just shy of $58,000. Now this is powered by the 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic, and it pumps out 311 horsepower, 288 pound-feet of torque. This model is rear-wheel drive. It weighs in around 3,800 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds with a top speed of 144 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 17.2 gallons, and you can expect to see around 20 miles per gallon in the city and 28 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 110.2 inches. Its overall length is 185.4. It has a width of 72.4, a height of 56.5, and its ground clearance measures in at 5.5 inches. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling, you'll notice that this model here has a really nice contrast between the ultra white and all of the black accents. So up front, there's the Lexus badge, which is also the sensor, along with a forward-facing camera. And then there's gloss black for the entire grille. It's even on the surround that leads to the lower section there. And the headlight housings have also been darkened. Everything is LED, of course, with a really nice design. There's more gloss black inlets on both sides and really nice lines that come down the hood, going all the way to the points in that hourglass design. Pretty classic look, I would say, for this Lexus model. Now, this also has a really nice set of wheels, finished off in matte black with that multi-spoke design. There's the F Sport badge, gloss black for the side mirrors with a hint of this gray trim accent right in the middle. There's the camera and the turn signal, a sunroof up top. There's also more gloss black surrounding all of the window trim, and then this particular model has quite a lot of options. There's that blackout package along with the BBS wheels, panoramic roof. We have the F Sport handling package as well, navigation, the triple beam headlights, Mark Levinson, and then the power moonroof and the premium paint. So quite a lot of options for this particular model. Now there's also gloss black for the trunk mounted spoiler, even a dark housing for not only the LEDs in back, but the light that goes through that trunk there. There's all the parking sensors, gloss black in that lower diffuser, as well as the dual exhaust. And then you'll notice a subtle F Sport badge on the lower section of the trunk, and up top you even have a release, so that way you can open this up as needed. Now you'll notice I have the back seats down at the moment, so you have quite a lot of interior storage for this model. There's even some storage underneath the floor with the spare tire. So you can place in some additional items as needed if you need to. And then you have a good bit of space when those back seats are up too. Now there's a grab handle up top, so that makes it very easy to close. And then as we work our way to the interior, we have a really nice design for the door panel. It's pretty simple, but you have this trim accent surrounding the window control, really nice trim accent for that release handle. No storage in the lower section of the door, which I think should be added at some point. And it's very easy to flip these seats back up where they're finished off in leather. And then at 5'10", I have a good bit of space. There is this bulge right in the middle, but you could easily have a foot on both sides. You do get storage bins behind both seats there and some climates right in the middle. And then at my height, I'm just up against the headliner. This is on the smaller side, but I could still be comfortable. I could ride around town, maybe go on a short road trip in the back. Right in the middle, you have the armrest, and then the cup holders actually pop out from the front there. So you still have those if you need to. And then you have a good bit of visibility, so it's pretty easy to see. You'll notice too, I didn't really talk about this. We have more of that brushed trim accent that surrounds part of the window trim too. It's gloss black on the upper section there. But for the door panel, you have all of your memory seating adjustments. There's your window control, side mirror adjustments. You do get storage for the front door panels. F Sport is also down on the door sill. And then there's a really nice set of seats up front. And as we hop in, we're greeted with a solid and perforated leather steering wheel. Well, let's fire this up, take a listen to how this sounds. As we come back to the gauge cluster now, you'll notice on the far right, there's your fuel. Right in the middle, you have your tach, along with miles per hour, what gear you're in. There's also some more information that you can scroll through using these controls on the right side. So as I start going down, you can look at all of these vitals, just depending on what you would like to see. There's even a blank page as well. And then if you push on the Pages button, you can move that tach, and now you can go through a little bit more information over on that left side. So there's going to be some of the same information. However, you can pull up some different menus here and go through all of this, including all of the standard safety features that you can turn on and off and set up to your liking. So really neat that you can do that. There's also your lane keeping assist, distance pacing. This has some massive paddle shifters. On this left side, there's volume, tuning, Bluetooth, and some more audio adjustments. Now on this far left side, you have some dimmer switches along with your odometer reset. There's your automatic headlights. There's also the rear sunshade control. So you can push on that and raise that up or put it back down, which is nice. And then the last control is for the 360 camera system. So you can use that just for a different viewpoint, and you have the touchscreen there so you can change that angle as needed. Now there's also leather up on the gauge cluster surround, and then with this infotainment system, you do have a split screen, so you can actually pull up some information over on that right side to be able to monitor all of that, or just put it in full screen there so you can look at the rest of the info. Now you still have this trackpad down below, so you can use that if you don't want to use it as a touchscreen system, and that way you can get through all this information just a little bit quicker, and then of course just use it as a touchscreen if and when you need to. Now there's a clock underneath that along with two air vents. You have your fan adjustments, where you'd like the air to go, temperature dials too. CD player is right in the middle, along with power and tuning, some more audio adjustments. This model is also equipped with heated and ventilated seats along with the heated steering wheel. You have a few different driving modes as well. So you'll notice that will change, but it will also change on the gauge cluster too. So just depending on the mode that you are in. There's a snow mode, auto hold, and the e-brake, two cup holders. And then if we put this into drive, you get the backup camera with the top-down view, and then a few different angles here with the adjustable guidelines as well. There's also drive, and you can shift using the shifter or the paddle shifters. You have some auxiliaries down below with a little bit of storage, and then plenty of storage in the glove box. There's also garage door buttons up top, touch-sensitive dome lights, and the controls for the sunshade, or the sunroof. Sunshade is manual adjusting. And then here's a look at visibility. Pretty thin pillars in the back, so you can easily see over both shoulders. As we set off now behind the wheel for the Lexus IS350 F Sport, this has been a vehicle that I have reviewed quite a lot this year. This might be the fourth time that I'm doing this, but this is the only one that's had the handling package, so we really get to test that out and see what it's like. The IS350 seems to be an incredibly popular sedan, even more so than the IS500. I've been able to film a few of those. Personally, I would take the power from the IS500 over this, but this seems to be a well-balanced sedan. It's a little bit on the smaller side, but you get that NA engine, which I know a lot of people like having when a lot of other companies, including Lexus, are going to some turbos and hybrids and things like that. But if you're looking for a model that just has that naturally aspirated power, the 350 is a really nice sweet spot to go with. And as we come around this turn, testing the handling for this model, just at a normal curve there, it handles very, very well. It feels like it's a sophisticated sports car without having kind of an overboard of that. So you get a very luxury style focused sedan, one that's daily driver friendly, but you still get some of those added characteristics to make it a really nice handling vehicle. So while this could be a vehicle that you're taking on some mountain road trips, something like that, maybe doing some performance driving, it's not one that you might be buying to do that often, but you have the suspension to handle those situations and just to give you a really composed vehicle, especially through some twisty roads. Now, just driving it like normal on this back road here, it's a nice vehicle. I like how simple it is. There's a lot of vehicles that are going with a million bells and whistles. If you're buying a Lexus, you're not looking for that. So kudos to Lexus for keeping their vehicles simple, but they're still giving you the creature comforts that you want. And some of those are options that you can choose from. Some of them are standard on some of their models. It just depends on the trim, of course. But you even have a CD player, which is interesting. A lot of people comment about the CD player. Some of you might be not old enough to remember what CDs are. They came out about when I was a kid, but they still have the CD player if you're looking to pop in some discs and listen to that. But overall, it's a simple layout, but it gives you a luxury interior at the same time. So I think it's a win-win for this model. It's also very quiet. We haven't heard any of the cars passing, so there's not any road noise or wind noise, especially at the speeds we're going right now. But it drives really nice. We have the seats with the extra bolstering support, which give you that added touch. and it's a great option to go with. For under $60,000, we have pretty much a fully loaded model here. You can get all-wheel drive in these models, so we have a few options that this model doesn't have, of course. So you're going to be right around 60, maybe pushing the mid $60,000 range for a luxury-focused vehicle, especially one that is going to be reliable too. Toyota and Lexus are #1 in reliability, and if you want the bulletproof NA V6 engine, this is a car that you can have for 10 years, if not longer. So if you're looking for kind of one and done with your car, this is a great option to go with. Kind of gives you a well-rounded vehicle for practicality, storage, and fun on the roads. And we are in Sport S Plus now, second gear. Here we go. And just a mild acceleration. We have a lot more potential, of course, for this. And it's really going to shine in the higher RPM range. From a lot of comments and feedback that I've seen from owners with the IS350, the paddles are pretty responsive at the speeds that I'm going today, but from what I've heard from all of you guys with your feedback, they get a little bit more crisper and quicker in the higher RPM range, which I won't be doing today, but it is nice to know that you can get a little bit more reactiveness at those higher speeds. So you can also rev out the gears as well, which I like, especially if you're doing some performance driving. You're not limited to, 3,000-4,000 RPM, but seems like a sweet spot for this car is probably around 5,000 or so, which seems very reasonable, especially, on the track, mountain roads, things like that. It gives you a good bit to be able to go through. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the IS350. Definitely a nice layout. We have a lot of simplicity to it, but I like all of the features. Everything is laid out very well, so it's easy to use. Even while you're driving, you can quickly get to all the functions that you would like, which is nice. But it gives you a nice premium interior, especially for the price again, and just an overall great drive. So this is something, again, would be an excellent daily driver, something to have for several years. One thing to note, it is on the smaller side for the Lexus lineup. So it is smaller, but that makes it better for handling. It's a little bit more nimble. It's going to be better in parking lot situations, slow speed settings like that. But it is a little bit small. So if you are looking to use the back seat often, it might not be the option that you want. Look at how tight this is. And you have the forward camera too if you need that. But it is on the small side. So that's just something to note, just depending on your family size, what you're putting in the vehicle, things like that. But overall, for its size, it's very nice and practical for what it has to offer. I do wish it was a little bit louder. You can get that in the IS500 or maybe put on an aftermarket exhaust if that is what you choose to do. But with this luxury brand, it sounds pretty good even in the sport mode settings there. And then you do have the functional driving modes. So you can put it into eco, where as I give it gas, we're really not moving because you don't have that throttle response or that responsiveness. So it's nice, depending on how you would like to drive, you can set that up. Well, that is going to wrap it up for the 2024 Lexus IS350 F Sport. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.